Hello, this is High Templar with a new episode of my Total War Warhammer mod reviews, and today we'll be talking about the mod All Tabletop Lords. So, this mod, quite simply, is adding all the lords from the Warhammer Tabletop game into the Warhammer Total War game. And what are those? So let's start with the Beastmen because they are very first here, and aside from the Beast Lord and Khazrak, the next lord that is very new for us is Great Brave Shaman of Death. So let's compare him to normal Shaman of Death. And you can see slightly more health, slightly more leadership, slightly more melee attack and defense, and slightly more weapon strength. But that's not impressive, that's only 290. And this guy is costing quite some more. And his mount option is actually more expensive by 50, but still. So what's so great about this guy? Is it just that? Because that would make no sense. No. Actually, for each of those lords, you will have some special abilities. Every one of those lords will have one. And let's see. For this guy, we, for example, have Life Leeching, Primal Fury, and Arcane Conduit. And we'll have the same for this guy. Life Leeching, Primal Fury, and Arcane Conduit. Aside from this, for every lord we'll have those general skills, lord skills. So Call of Violence here and Apocalyptic Vision. And don't be... It says it's common, but cost is actually 101. And this cost is... And this one, it says that it's rare, but the cost is actually only 54 gold. And this one, this is a special skill for this one. Each lord has one. And he's giving poison to 4 allies in the range of 15 meters. That's something useful, but not like super great. We know that some heroes like Skarsnik can have that for all their units. But this is working well in multiplayer, you can use it. Because you pretty much need to keep this guy alive around some other units. Now, then we have Brave Shaman of Beasts. And Great Brave Shaman of Beasts. And as for this guy, same skills here, Wild Heart, Primal Fury, and Arcane Conduit. And for this guy we have Wild Heart, Primal Fury, Arcane Conduit, 2 general skills as before. And this one is Mist of Gur, and this is a very cool one. Its affects all the allies in the range of 30 meters, gives them missile resistance, gives them stalk, but also gives them hide in grass. Not in trees, in grass. And that's very, very cool. Also for all those caster lords, like for the Brave Shaman of Death and Great Shaman of Beasts and the other one, have some special items. For example, miscast chance minus 100%, which is amazing only for 36 gold. And also this one, also only 32, increasing some power reserves. And that is very useful for the Beastmen because they are very dependent on their magic. So that's amazing, Let's see the last one. What does a Great Brave Shaman of Wild has to offer? So this guy, if you look at the abilities and look at this guy's abilities, you will see that there is no special ability for this man. Same items, same spells, but what's that? I mean, no new ability, right? But what was exactly that? A Savage Dominion that you can cast twice, and you can spawn up to 2 Cygors, right? And only 16. Now it costs only 16, mind you. So this is pretty freaking powerful, and considering that you more normally would bring Malagor into the fight just so he can bring the Cygor, bringing this guy into the fight, very, very good indeed. And yeah, the Cygor 28 here. But yeah, the Malagor does have some interesting abilities on his own. He will be able to cast much more, and he has this Primal Fury. So, and the Bestial Search, Wide Buff. So, not useful, but still, I would go with this one. And finally we have the Doom Bull. What is the Doom Bull? It's a Lord level character Minotaur Lord level character, same as Gorbul is your hero level character, Minotaur. And let's just see. Sorry, am I seeing something? Yes. Click the wrong lord. Slightly more health, not that great. More leadership, more speed, more melee attack, significantly so. More melee defense, visibly so. More weapon strength and more charge bonus, significantly so. And the weapon strength for the Gorbul, we have bonus versus slash 30 and 140 and 280. For the Doombull, well, you will be surprised. The armor piercing damage is 300 and bones versus large is 35. So, yeah, this guy is pretty good. However, it's not as good as the stats would tell us. Firstly, while he does have a special ability, it's slightly weird. Its cast lasts for 30 seconds, it's increased his melee attack, but it's decreased his speed and charge bonus. And what you want to do with Minotaurs is charge in and out. So, yeah, maybe if he got stuck, but normally you want to get those guys on the move. Secondly, no healing potion, quite obviously. He has some hex that is constant, -4 leadership, that's useful of course. And he has that buff to all the units around him, but it costs 182. I'm not saying it's not worth it, it is worth it, but it's not that super great. And the Doombull, I've tested him. I really tested him because I just wanted to see how good this guy behaves in the battle. And he's good, but he's not significantly better than Gorbul. He's not an obvious pick, I would say, and he's bigger, so he's a bigger target for the archers and the cannons. Still, nice, very nice lords for Beastmen. Let's see what Britannia has to offer. Nothing? Well, that's because Britannia has pretty much those lords in Tabletop. No new lords here. Although there is something, sometimes there is a caster hero here, and there are some named heroes like, the Green Knight for example, but I guess we'll have to wait for it. Normally Britannian army would not have any caster characters. You could sometimes, because, it's Britannia. A woman cannot really lead an army. It would have to be something special, right? Never mind that. Let's go into Clan Angrund. Clan Angrund, like all the dwarves, has 2 additional low level characters. And this one is Demon Slayer. We are missing a hero, and I really would like to see a Dragon Slayer hero. This is basically a hero level Slayer character, and this one is Lord level Slayer character. Is he good? I don't know, not really. If you go into the Slayers, you would notice that they have bonus versus large of 24. This guy has bonus versus large of only 15, but he does deal a lot of damage. He is, those guys, for example, have whirlwind excess and they are anti-large and they are unbreakable. This guy also unbreakable, but he has a charge defense against large foes, and he has also death blow and anti-large as those guys. I don't particularly like him. He does have this unbreakable, which is strange because he already should be. He has this fire damage augment that all units in range can have. He does have this death blow ability, which is very nice indeed, and the runic slayer access, but quite frankly I don't like him that much. I don't think he is that viable option. There are better options basically, but if you do want to have something fast that can destroy your enemies very fast, but is weak to missiles, that might be your choice. On the other hand, you need to remember that it's rare that somebody will bring non-armor piercing ranged troops against dwarves. But still, low melee defense, not that significantly good melee attack. If you compare it to the normal Lord, for example, you would notice that it's only 15 more, right? So it's not like super great. And then we have another interesting option, and this is Guildmaster Engineer. So as much as Rune Lord is a better version of Runesmith, this guy is better version of Master Engineer. And let's just compare them to. You might see a pattern here already, right? There is a Lord level, Hero level character, and Lord level character. Slightly more health, significantly more weapon strength, some more melee defense, attack, leadership, and significantly more missile damage. If you get this guy, the armor piercing missile damage is 220 compared to 180 of this guy. So 40 more armor piercing missile damage. That's not nothing, that's actually pretty good. Same range, 148. He has additionally this one, which is basically making him resistant to vigor and actually affects all the allies around in the range of 30 meters. So pretty much as the Grumbling Guard. If you have both of those guys, that should be pretty useful indeed. And these are your normal skills: entrenchment and ballistic calibration. Is he useful? I do believe so. His additional items would include missile resistance, buff to the weapon strength, and that is 45 meters around him, quite cheap, 115 only, and constant hex around him, decreasing melee attack and charge bonus to all the enemies. Properly kited out, this guy can be very powerful Lord indeed with that much missile damage on this range. Yeah, he can be quite powerful indeed. You have to remember that this guy is actually getting everything in his line of fire is getting killed. So if your enemy is tightly packed, he can kill like 20 units even with single shot. Right, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, see my Master Engineer videos when I'm destroying the Black Orcs with him. Alright, then we have Crooked Moon. Crooked Moon has only one additional hero, and this is Orc Great Shaman. And yeah, as you can guess, he is just better at everything than your normal Shaman. However, this one actually seems like he is quite good. Because, you know, he has an option of Wyvern. His weapon strength is 380, and that's much better than those Bright guys. And he has armor of 40, and he does have significant leadership. And his abilities includes also the Prophet of the Wa, which is constant buff around himself on 15 meters, but also he has Arcane Conduit, which is unavailable for this guy, and the Lord skills of Get Back Here and the Stand Your Ground. For the items, this guy can have School Wand of Kalush, which I don't think is actually that good, and Channeling Staff, which, yes, you should take it. It's very good. Especially if you need to put that Foot of Gorks in few places. Then we have Dwarfs. And for Dwarfs, we have pretty much the same options: Demon Slayer and Guildmaster, so I won't dwell on them. For the Greenskins, the additional Lord is highly anticipated Savage Orc Warboss. However, there is Black Orc Warboss missing here. I'm not sure why. There are actually few Lords missing from the tabletop, and some of the Lords are there that weren't supposed to be, because Total War Warhammer is mostly based on the 8th edition, and there are some Lords that are just here but weren't in 8th edition. They are present in 9th edition and some other places, but there is some lack of consistency. So let's just look at this guy. Obviously slightly more health, but only slightly. He does have a Frenzy and Warpaint, which is very nice. He does have more melee attack, but only by 6. He does have significantly less melee defense and 0 armor and charge bonus. So, is he any good? well, his wyvern is quite more expensive, but if you can put him on the wyvern, I mean, compared to, say, this guy on the wyvern, he will have 40 armor, this guy on the wyvern 70, this guy on the wyvern, I believe 40, yes, 40 armor. He does have enormous damage, enormous melee attack, enormous charge bonus, so he's good, he's really good. And he does have some Warpaint magic on his side, and one that was there before. And he does have still option for Potion of Toughness and this interesting Rampage standard, which can kite his charge bonus even more. So, very nice indeed, but I'm missing the Black Orc Lord, which is, yeah, I guess the Orc Warboss should actually be black in most cases, but never mind. Bloody Hands, so Great Orc Shaman and Savage Orc Warboss pretty much, and then the Empire. The Empire actually have a few ones. They have a Grandmaster. So this guy is, well, there is no real comparison here, but he can be compared to the General of the Empire, I guess. And as you can see, his stats are pretty similar. Where this guy can only sport a Barded Warhorse. With his abilities, we have Hold the Line, Foe Seeker, Deadly Onslaught, Stand Your Ground, and Master of Battle, which is map-wide buff for 29 seconds, charge speed, and acceleration, which is very useful if you are running a lot of cavalry, but can be, quite hard to micromanage. Then we have 4 Wizard Lords, and quite obviously we have Bright Wizard, so we will have also the Wizard Lord of Bright. Slightly more of everything, but not, nothing great, nothing really amazing. And for the skills, this guy has additional Frightening Magic, which all of those guys, as far as I remember, have. He also have a Flame Resistance, which is very nice indeed. And your standard general Stand Your Ground. For the items, he is actually pretty basic. The Light Wizard, if you get Light Wizard here, yeah. Same with stats, this guy actually have an option of getting into Imperial Pegasus. His abilities would include also Frightening. Like I said, all those guys have this Frightening and the Hold the Line and the Stand Your Ground, but nothing more here. So I don't think he's worth it. I really don't think so. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same. Just wanted to make sure. And finally we have a Celestial Lord. And this guy do have option of mounting onto the Imperial Pegasus, but only of 350, which is quite less expensive than this guy. And for the abilities, we have also Frightening, Hold the Line, and the Stand Your Ground. Magic items the same. Are they really worth that much? I don't think so. I do think the Grandmaster is nice addition, but those guys, I don't know, not really. I don't think so. You are not using them in such a way that they would be useful. I mean, you shouldn't. For the Vampire Lords, we already have all the lords from the tabletop. So there are some additional that are added from outside of 8th edition. And here we have Blood Dragon Lord. Blood Dragon Lord, you have to compare them to the Vampire Lords. As you can see, very similar stats, very similar indeed, very similar price. So what's the difference? Vampire Lord, all the same skills, right? And actually, this guy can have a Zombie Dragon in 550. Yeah, he also can have, but he cannot have, what I'm missing, Hellsteed. This guy cannot have a Hellsteed, only in Barded Knight, only a horse or a zombie dragon. With some additional abilities that is honor of or death basically. And this is quite interesting hex. It's make your unit unbreakable but cannot move, and ability to recharge is increased. So this is your anti-lord killing. You want this guy not to move, not to break, stay there and die, and not be able to use his abilities. That's, I think, quite nice, and you can use it from only 20 meters, so, you have to be fighting this guy. And you have to micromanage it correctly, because he might run and you will stay there. For the spells we have the standard, and for the items we have quite nice treat. So we have a Sword of Anti-Heroes and the Helm of Discord, which you know from the game, and they are very, very useful and very powerful, especially Helm of Discord, which gives 40-second debuff to the melee attack, defense and armor to your enemies, and only for 79 gold. So you absolutely should take it, and your normal Vampire Lord cannot take any items. And finally we have Neck-Arch Lord. So this guy is actually downgraded version of Manfred. He has significantly less melee attack, defense, weapon strength and charge bonus, but he does have an option of taking all the spell from both Death and the Necromantic trees. For the abilities, he is pretty much a standard guy. If you compare him, for example, to Manfred, And then for the items, he have Book of Arkham, which is, a single buff, plus 30, plus 34 melee attack, nothing great, very cheap but nothing great, and then Wand of Jet. Is he worth his price? I don't think so. You should really take Manfred. He would be superior in most ways, really. I don't see the point. What else? Then we are going into the Chaos Warriors, and the Chaos Warriors again are missing some of your lords. I mean, I would expect Demon Prince in the Lord section, and I'm not seeing him, and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed indeed, but no new Lord here. You all know everything here. So, this is it about the mod. And what are my thoughts? It does give you some interesting options, some you would use, some are pointless. It does make some of your lords that you were using before, like I was using Malagor all the time. Well, the Great Brave Shaman of Wild is just wild. So I would use him again instead of Malagor all the time, because ability to spawn 2 Cygars is just too big of a deal. They cost 1600 each. And I can still use some magic because, so some of the lords not very useful, some of the lords very interesting and very useful, and it will make your game more interesting and your campaign more interesting, in my opinion. There is no real downside here. So, that's pretty much it. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos in Total War Warhammer, but also my mechanics videos, my DLC and speculation videos, and my Let's Plays in Total War series and other games. Thank you for watching, and see you later.